Your line of credit is good to go. You can use it starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
I'm chasing the flames, yeah.
And listen, I got to go. I'm on call with this guy 24/7. Bye.
Hello, George. It's Jaime. I've got more clients coming in, George. I've got tons of big shot clients. They need the on-call outdoor chef guy that you are. You're my man, George. I pay you tens of thousands of dollars, George. And I expect tens of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars of good stuff. Call that fishy guy you know and get some of that one-of-a-kind fish that only he can get, George. It's fabulous. You know me and pork. I love the taste of pork. I don't eat it much, but when I do, it's delicious, George. And bacon. I love bacon. My clients love bacon. More pork. You got me, George?
Mountains bold, a mile high. The Rio mirrors a clear blue sky. Went to dance with turbulent weeds. Nights burn cold, my heart is free. I'm chasing the flames, chasing the flames. Chilies grow across green fields. Hot sun glows, a dream so real. Slicing, dicing with a flare. Anticipation in the air. I'm chasing the flame, chasing the flame. Surfing, turfing on the grill. Now there's a way, there's a will. Flavors bursting with delight. On call, create the perfect vibe. I'm chasing the flames, chasing the flames. I'm chasing the flames, yeah. Chasing the
We're going to talk about fire safety today. We're not going to just talk about fire. We're going to talk about being careful with fire. Now, we use a lot of heat around here. Big flames inside the Beast, big flames, tall flames on the Santa Maria Grill. We see all kinds of different types of fires with the wind. Sometimes it gets humid, so on and so forth. But what's most important is that you're safe. So that calls for you to invest in some fire extinguishers. Make sure they're always around, at least one step away from where you're cooking. Make sure you got a bucket of sand. Make sure you got a 5-gallon bucket of water just in case laying around. If you have a water source like a hose or something like that, then that's even better. But you got to remember, fire is dangerous, and I need you to be safe out there because we try to be as safe as we can right here. And that's important. Safety comes first when we plan our cooks. Think about fire as a tool, but remember, it's dangerous. Be careful. That way you can make stuff that's wow good. Set and forget smokers. This is my third smoker. The first one I had wasn't very good. Kept breaking on me. So I bought a Pit Boss, and I have another portable Pit Boss. You're supposed to just put your pellets in, turn it on, put your protein in, walk away. They make a device, a probe that you can connect to it. It connects to Bluetooth. Your phone will go off, all that wonderful stuff. But it doesn't really mean set and forget. You have to be careful. It's also about how the protein looks. Now, we have our pork tenderloin on in here, and it's wrapped in bacon. So we have to watch it about every 15 to 30 minutes. That bacon is going to render away, and it's going to get a little crisper. It's going to add a lot of flavor and a lot of juiciness, but you have to watch it. You have to make sure it doesn't render so much that it sets your Pit Boss on fire, which is then going to mean that you burned your protein and you're calling 911 for KFC. So here's what you do. Come over and check it. Touch it. Make sure it's still hot, because sometimes you run out of pellets and you don't know it, because it doesn't tell you that with a lot of these smokers. So don't set and forget, set and check often. Let's get back to chasing the flames. Weather and heat. Guess what? It's going to be 100 degrees today. Now, that raises our ambient temperature around our various appliances by a bunch. We're going to use less heat, and I guarantee you it's going to be hotter than Hades around that Santa Maria grill and also the Beast. So let's talk about the effects. In the summertime here at 6,000 feet, we get these winds that start around 5 miles an hour, then occasionally it dies down to 0. Then all of a sudden we'll get gusts of 30. Now that's going to affect the flame, that's going to affect the fire, that's going to affect the heat, it's going to blow it away for a little while when we get those big 30-mile-an-hour bursts. But we got to think about these things. We have to take into account all the effects when we're cooking. Now in the wintertime, we use more fuel. In the summertime, we use less fuel. The most important thing is plan. Look at the weather, check the temperature, calculate what your ambient temperature is going to be. Is it going to be low or is it going to be high? Figure it out, plan it out. And remember something else. Be careful, because when you're next to the Beast, when you're next to the Santa Maria grill, they're super hot. And it's already 100 degrees out here. So how hot's it going to be when you're near there? Drink plenty of fluid, be safe, and make sure you spend enough time in the shade, because you need to be prepared, ready, and energetic to have fun, to cook. And we're going to make something wow good.
Chasing the flames, chasing the flames.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Let's get back to chasing the flames. Everybody, I might get emotional over this guy. He was my first instructor. This is Chef Scott Clapp. Everybody give him a round of applause, would you? Yeah. All right.
Thank you, thank you.
My first instructor in culinary school. I invited him up here. He's my very first guest on Chasing the Flames. And he's going to do what we call a demo. How fun.
All right.
The floor is yours, Chef. Rock and roll, buddy.
All right, and you haven't seen this demo. I don't think we did this. We didn't do this one in our class, right?
Nope.
So today I'm going to demo, I'm going to put together an orzo pesto pasta salad. But I'm going to start by making the pesto. And I'm going to talk a little bit about a mise en place, and that means everything in its place. And we're going to talk about why that's so important. Fortunately, I got some helpers back there. My little elves took care of most of my preliminary mise en place. And so they put all my ingredients together. So you can see here, I have a whole tray of stuff, everything I'm going to need for the salad and for the pesto. So one of the things I think is really important when you're doing something like this is to make sure you, first of all, have all your ingredients, part of your mise en place. And then when you're setting up, put everything in the order you're going to use it. As you get in the kitchen, you start getting really busy, that gives you the opportunity to not miss something. And I think for all of us, we always miss steps in the kitchen. So we try to minimize that opportunity by putting everything in the order here. So today we're going to do the pesto, and pesto is really simple. It's sort of a technique. Most of the time you see it with basil, and today George has gotten us some really nice Thai basil, which is a little more fragrant, a little more spiciness to it. So kind of a fun thing to play around with. So if you've seen regular what they call sweet basil, Italian basil, the leaves are a little bit bigger than these, and they tend to be big and green. These have a little purple on them, so sometimes they look like they're a little bit brown, but they great smell. They're a great ingredient for this dish. So for this dish, we're going to have some basil. We're going to have some Parmesan cheese. So we want to go ahead and open that up. So one of the things.
Your choice, chef.
Oh, that's for this. That's going to go on this. That's going to go on the finished salad. I'm going to use cheese twice.
All right.
Yeah, right. So we're going to go two different directions. So while we're doing that, we'll go ahead and get the rest of the ingredients out. We got some garlic here, and we just lightly mash that garlic. Makes it a little bit easier in the food processor for it to get it all mixed up into there. Some pinon or pine nuts, often seen here in New Mexico, grows on our trees here. Fortunately, we didn't have to crack these all open today. That takes hours and hours. I have a pinon tree in my yard. I let the birds have it because it's way too much work. These have already been lightly toasted, so part of the mise en place, doing all these little steps ahead of time. And then some extra virgin olive oil here, and then some salt and pepper. I'm going to move this bowl over here just for a second while we're putting this together. And a little bit of lemon probably for the taste. So some of this is to taste. It's to what it looks like, right? So we got about 4 cups of basil leaves here. Maybe it's settled down, it's a little bit light. These are denser because they're not those big Italian sweet basil leaves we were talking about. So they pack a little more, so a little less makes sense. So we're just going to add these ingredients. And I think we'll be able to get this all in here. Just mash it down a little bit. Our garlic. I'm going to just put part of the pinon in there right now. We're going to do that a little bit to taste. And whatever we don't use here, we're going to add to our salad later, so it doesn't matter. And then some cheese. All right. I'll probably add a little more cheese, but I'm going to let this work itself down. We got quite a bit in this food processor. So the thing about food processors, we're going to get more of a grind. So if you don't have a food processor, for hundreds of years, they would do this in a mortar and pestle. We, again, just like not cracking the pinon, we're going to use technology to help us out here today. So you just want to get that in there properly. And most food processors are going to have an on, off, and a pulse. We're going to use the pulse function here. And the reason is that gives us control. If I just turn it on, it's just going to grind it all down. And what I really want to try to do is bring everything together really nicely. So just pulsing, and you can see how that popped everything up. And then once we get going, we can grind it a little more. I want to get a little bit of grind on it, and then I'm going to start drizzling olive oil in. But I want to get everything sort of broken up. If I start adding the oil a little too early, what's going to happen is it's going to separate everything, and all the little bits and pieces are going to kind of bounce around instead of getting pureed. So we want to get that puree going first. Looks pretty good there. And this is going to have a pretty rustic texture anyway. Now we'll go ahead and turn it on so we can focus on drizzling the oil in. So most food processors are also going to have a little sleeve in here you can take out that allows you to drizzle something directly into it. All I'm watching for now to see if I get too much built up on the sides. That's looking pretty good there. Turn it off. And That looks really great. So we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper. Oh, thanks. A little spatula, we can just scrape that down a little. A little more cheese, because I know it's gonna need some more cheese before I taste it. And a little salt. So cheese is salty, right? So we want to be careful how much salt we add in here. And then some pepper. And we can always add more. Can't really take it out. It's really complicated if you over season something. So you always want to err on the side of season taste, season taste. You can't taste it too much. We're gonna put a little bit of lemon in there. Lemon will help retain the color of the basil, and it'll also give it a little bit of acidity, pop that flavor, freshness that we really like in something like pesto. Back on we go. And we'll just pulse that a little bit. We're gonna go a little more oil. Don't want it to be quite so tight. By tight, I mean that it's too much. So if we try to put it on meat or something later, or when we put it in the salad, it's not gonna mix that well. So we want it to be a little more the thickness of a dressing. All right, that looks good. That looks tasty. So now that we have everything mixed together, we're gonna do a little taste just to make sure before we add it to our salad. Okay, that's pretty good. Needs a little bit more salt and pepper, and that's gonna do it for us. We'll just give a little bit more lemon juice. Just a quick pulse. And we're all set.
This is a tenderloin that I sent down to Chef. Yes, it's wonderful tenderloin, most beautiful swine I grew for Chef. It's going on the smoker wrapped in bacon. Yummy. Look at it, just starting to render a little bit. And you must temp all the time to make sure your tenderloin is not going to get overdone. It'd be a crime to overdo your loin. I know that sounds funny. But anyway, I still have a lot of people looking for me, especially this man who is not a very good swine farmer. Yes. And I might add that Krispy Kreme is cleaning up with all the surveillance that's going on. They're eating a lot of donuts, these farmers. They're looking for me in the most obscure places with long lenses from high places. Always high places. I don't know why they're so high all the time. And they're using drones. These awful mechanical devices that take your picture from way up high. I don't know why they use drones anyway. They're stupid devices. And it's a little embarrassing for me because I often am nude on my farm. You know, animals are nude, so why shouldn't the farmer be nude and everything swings free? I hate binoculars. They can see you from far, far away. It's not very comforting to know that somebody's looking at you. Oh my God, that's a scary eye right there looking at me. I don't even know who it is. And I might tell you that Dunkin' Donuts is cleaning up too. All the coffee these farmers are drinking trying to find me. And there's my farm. No one knows where I'm at. Yes, it's just me and the swine. And there's my buddy Roy. Oh, he's such a great pig. And there's Loin. Oh, she's kind of dumb, and, I'm kind of thinking she might have a bad day very soon because she's looking so tasty. He's very intelligent. He saved my life 3 times so far. That's why he can choose when he has the bad day himself. And there's Loin. Oh, and there's Loin. She's number 7 back there. There she is. And so Loin was so tasty that I paid her respects by making it into some German sausage. Ooh, some brats. She's tasting wonderful, wonderful. Look at those brats. Oh yes, they'll be on the barbecue up here on the farm. I'd put them in the oven and roast them. Oh, she was very, very tasty pig. Not so dumb after all.
It's a real honor sous chefing for this guy. And today we put all these ingredients together and we were all laughing about, Chef Scott's got us as his sous chef today. And we started laughing a little bit and then we said, oh, and it looks like it's really going to be good too. So he surprised us with a great recipe. It's great having him here. Now he's going to put this salad together. Rock and roll, chef.
All right, thanks, George. So just as I mentioned earlier in the pesto, when we're doing this, we want to make sure we have all of our ingredients. We put them in the order, we're going to put them into the dish. This one's pretty simple because essentially everything kind of goes in at one time. So we don't have to be too careful with these. But just a couple things. Our orzo, we've already cooked it off. So just cook it according to package directions. Keep it a little al dente if possible. Pine nuts, we have some here, just as needed. Some sliced olives. Some sliced tomatoes, a bell pepper. This is a yellow bell pepper. We roasted it, peeled it, took the seeds out, diced it up. And we kept the dices really nice knife cuts, because when you're putting this together, you're gonna see all those things in the salad. So it's nice to sweat those details. And if you have some time and you can do that prep ahead of time, makes that part of it really simple. And then finally, some red onion. So these are ingredients for our salad, the pesto we made earlier. So we're just gonna start by adding our orzo.
These guys, so they don't blow away.
Yeah, they want to go today.
They want to go.
All right. Just make sure that all breaks up nicely. Sometimes after it's been sitting, it'll kind of clump up a little bit. Just stir it around. If you're going to wait a while before you make the pasta salad, you can put just a little bit of oil on here just to keep the kernel separate. Not too much, because we want the pesto to stick to it, but just enough to hold them separately. So some yellow bell pepper. If you don't have yellow, you can use red, you can green, orange. It doesn't matter. Some tomatoes. Pretty soon you'll be able to get these out of your garden. I'll just put all this in. I can tell we can use it all. Some olives, black olives. These are Kalamata olives. So they're a great, nice, briny, nice salty flavor to it. It's going to help bring it all together. Some red onion.
Look at the color, chef.
Right? It's beautiful, right? A few of our pine nuts. So we've used quite a bit of pine nuts in the pesto, but we're going to add a few more in here because they're so tasty. And then some feta. So the feta, because different fetas can be really salty, I'm going to add about half of this to start with. Then we'll come back and we'll taste it and we'll see if we can add a little bit more. So half, 2/3. All right, so let's mix this together. So I'm using a technique we call folding. So I'm not like stirring it really aggressively. I'm just trying to get everything blended together. So this keeps from more delicate items breaking up and just allows us to get that nice mix. And all I'm really looking for here is for all the colors to kind of seem evenly distributed. What do you think, George? Are we getting there?
Yeah, I think it's looking great.
All right. So,
and the hardest thing about this dish, and it wasn't hard at all, was just prepping everything. That was really hard. This is a simple dish to put together.
It is super, super simple. So we're just going to take some of our pesto, and the recipe that we use for the pesto will probably make more than we need for this dish. So we'll start with, again, about half of it, and we're going to mix that together. Looks like I think we're going to need a little more than that, but we'll see how it starts to look.
Good place to start, right, chef?
Good place to start. As I said earlier, when you're doing seasonings, dressings, you can add more, but you can't really take it out. Really complicated to take it out. All right, so yeah, I definitely want a little more of that green pesto color.
It's the work of art. It's pretty.
Well, that's the thing, you know that with cooking is that you have a recipe and that gives you a good starting point, but then you gotta take it where it takes you, right? I think that's starting to look pretty good.
You use pine nuts instead of walnuts. You use yellow bell pepper. You know,
Yeah,
what would it be like with a poblano if you roasted
Yeah,
it?
you could do a poblano, and then you brought in Thai basil instead of the sweet basil. Changes it, but it's just another way, and it's going to taste great. All right, so that's pretty good. What do you think?
Wow, good.
All right.
Delicious, chef.
All right, so there's our pesto pasta salad using orzo pasta.
Chasing the flames, chasing the flames.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
BH Capital Limited is celebrating over 40 years of providing proactive finance and management solutions for American enterprise. Under the leadership of George Lovato Jr., the firm exists as an expert in the complex world of structured finance, modern management strategies and techniques, and breaking the code of marketing in the modern digital age. Through its ability to lend or invest singularly or in conjunction with other institutions or investors, American enterprise has been able to resolve many of the complex issues surrounding corporate finance as a result of BH Capital's participation. Having assisted and advised many top American corporate executives, BH Capital Limited is a driving force in American management consulting and advisory engagements. Find out more by visiting bhcapitalltd.biz.
Let's get back to chasing the flames.
It's funny, yeah, because I've had many students, I've been this 17 years, and they're like, yeah, I remember those things. That's why the mistakes are such learning opportunities, right? Because they just puts it.
No, that was, the first day kicked my ass. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because you were a week late, right?
I was a week late because they screwed up my email on accepting me. So then I had to go in and talk to you, and then you grilled me pretty good the first day in class, and I think you were at that point you figured, well, he's not going to set the place on fire at least.
Yeah.
And then, but it was the consistency of me making mistakes. Okay, you catching me, and then. And these were habits I was breaking, okay? Because when I'd worked in restaurants, the restaurants I owned, it's way different, okay? Because you said it yourself. It's about getting it done, not technique. This was all about technique.
And having the time to develop those habits too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think that was
14 weeks.
14 weeks. 14 weeks is a good. I think it's 10 weeks you can develop a habit, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So 14 weeks. And, and everybody comes in with bad habits. I mean, that's because we all have a life experience, and many of your classmates really hadn't even worked in commercial kitchens, so you were way up on them from that perspective. But again, even in commercial kitchen, you're so busy all the time that you don't get to focus on those little details. And I always feel like one of the things I found with my peers in the industry, the executive chefs and owners, is when they come to me and say, I can tell when somebody had you as an instructor because their habits are good. We talk so much about sense of urgency in the kitchen, but it's not running around like a crazy person. It's working with sense of purpose. And slowing down doesn't mean you're not working with a sense of purpose. It just means you're focused on those details, that mise en place, right? That mental part of the mise en place.
Right. Talk a little bit more about that.
Well,
the mental part.
So, mise en place, everything in its place. I think a lot of times we think of it in the physical aspect of putting all of our product together, doing all of our prep, setting our stations. But in my mind, it's mental, a lot of it, because it's how you walk in the door, right? You walk in the door ready to go. Mm-hmm. You leave all of your, as many of your problems as you can outside, and you're focused on what's going on around you. You've got a plan for the day. If I'm cooking at home, I have an idea what I'm going to do. I've opened the refrigerator and I've thawed something out, and I've made a plan. I might have to pivot from that plan, but I have a plan. And it's the same in every time, and not only in the kitchen, but almost like life, right? I think that's one of the lessons, especially, we have a lot of young students, and I think it's a super valuable lesson for them to learn that organization in life is so important. Mm-hmm. And even if they end up not following the culinary pathway, those tools are still super helpful to them. And that discipline and that sense of mise en place of everything really will make them better no matter what they do.
This is one of my classmates from culinary school, Abel Lovato. I call him Little Cuz. We're going to sear. This is the first time he's using this little griddle in the Santa Maria, but he's an able hand. Oh God, I know you've heard that 1,000 times. Chef Coot used to give you a hard time. There we go. Here's your thermometer. You can stick it a couple times and let it get going, and then just go in the side. Go in about right in there. See where you're at. That's your baseline. You got there. Probably not over 90 degrees, right?
Yeah, it's like 74.
Yeah. So that's room temp right now, which is where we wanted it, right? We want to heat it up to room temp. We don't want to put anything cold on there. Listen to that sound. That's sexy. That's sexy. That's food porn. It's not, in outdoor cooking, it's the way you like it. So we're going to cook it the way you like it. You're a guest, and you're a helper, and a hell of a helper. A fine American.
I think I've heard you say that once.
I saw you using your knives today.
Oh, yeah. Try them out.
Yeah. Got a new tool.
Yeah. Have to make sure they work right. Had to make sure you give me a faulty set.
Yeah, no edge.
BTP here. Chef asked me to give a little voiceover because they were cussing all this time when they were getting smoke in their eyes and in their ears, and they were choking. Oh my God, it just sounded terrible. So I offered to do a little voiceover and tell y'all about this wonderful king salmon. Didn't come out of the Gulf of America. We had to go all the way to Alaska in my fishing boat right here. I got a little footage of it pulling into a bay, and we had such a good time, drank beer, and this bear ate my sister-in-law, actually. We got some footage of him enjoying, gorging himself on some salmon. And there's my skinny little brother, not the fish, my brother. He's a skinny little guy. But he caught some fish that day. I'll tell you, a little clumsy too. You know, he's not too sure-footed. And there's my brother Smile. He's happy he caught some fish. But as you can see, his fishing company didn't have a real good dental plan. I've talked to him about that several times. But anyway, this stuff is flakier, juicier, has a more fishy flavor, and it is wonderful when it's seared like this on a Santa Maria grill on a skillet. Now look at that. It's just smoking away, all kinds of lovely. I'm telling you, the boss's clients are going to enjoy the holy bejesus out of this fish, because I'm telling you, this is the best king salmon in the world. Yeah, man. Perfect. Look at that, laying nice down in the pan. Oh, I wish I was there, because, you know, like Chef says, it's wow good. I can't say it like him. I wish I could. I've been practicing. It doesn't work. Anyway, BTP here. See you again.
Jonathan, big help in outdoor cooking. Every show he's here. He had to go to school today for a while, so he came in the morning, prepped. But we're still going to honor him by allowing him to slice this up, because he's a hard-working dude. He's like the James Brown of culinary arts. But I think you're better at beer, aren't you?
A lot better.
So he's going to carve this wonderful smoked pork.
That's beautiful.
So you can see this wonderful ring of flavor with that bacon there. Look at that. Look at that. Nice, nice. And I promise you, it'll be wow good. Look at these juices. There we go.
I'm chasing the flame.
Hello, George. It's Jaime again.
Yes, boss.
Well, how did it go? How was the pork? Did the clients like the salmon?
Yes, they're having a great time. Super time. You can hear them in the background.
It better have been good fish, George. Fish, fish, fish. Good, good, good. It
They
better have
enjoyed
been
everything.
spectacular. Salmon better have been zesty. Zesty, George. How about that pork,
No one
pork,
got
pork?
sick.
Was it tender? It better have been tender, George. If it wasn't
Great,
tender,
boss. I
it'll
gotta
be
go,
a
boss.
disaster. Did the clients like
Boss,
it? Did
I gotta
anybody
get
get
back to
sick? Did
serving
you
your
put
clients,
bacon on
boss.
everything,
Boss,
George?
I gotta
George,
go.
I gotta tell you, I'm
Can you
concerned.
let me
Did
go?
they like the salad? Did they like
Boss?
what you put in the salad? Did
Boss?
you put bacon in the salad, George? Tell me you put bacon in the salad. Did everybody have a good time? They better be drinking. What kind of time is this to do with my clients? 100 degrees in the shade. How hot was everybody? I hope they weren't sweating in the food. There's all kinds of bacteria.
I'm chasing the flame. Chasing the flame.
Mr. Cloud, as I ordered.
We can shoot fast. And you're going to get a $2 fine. And you're going to get a $2 fine. 100 degrees. It's going to raise the cook temperature. It's going to raise the cook temperature. Okay.
The perfect vibe. I'm chasing.
Somebody like Jay say, action!
Action!
I'm chasing